One of the most hyped players in the history of high school basketball was Emoni Bates. He was called the 15-year-old Kevin Durant. His skill so legendary, LeBron James gave him advice after an AAU game. I mean, LeBron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated at 17 years old, but Emoni did it at 15. As I said, he is the future of the NBA, not even old enough to drive and likely to be a straight to the NBA number one pick. Well, now it doesn't even look like Emoni might make the NBA. What happened is fascinating, but it's also a warning to every other young player trying to make the league. Emoni was already on the radar as a seventh grader. He was 6'7" at 13 years old. Obviously, he would beat every 13-year-old. Fucking 6'7". I was like 5'7" at 13. Regardless of the point, by 15, he had the dribbling and the shooting that made people compare him to KD. Bates became the first sophomore to win the Gatorade Player of the Year award while he was playing at Lincoln High School. The hype got so crazy, his dad wanted to take control of the situation. So he created a school called Ipsy Prep. I think I'm reading that right. Fuck it. That's such a weird ass name to make as an original school, but I guess there's no copyright on a weird ass name like that. Point is, Ipsy Prep centered around his son and 12 students, all teammates taking online classes in a rented building outside of town. They were all coached by Emoni's summer ball coach and had a schedule playing some of the best teams in the U.S. People called Emoni's dad the next LeVar Ball, which could be a good thing or a horrible thing depending on who you ask. The real questionable decision was for Emoni to skip his senior year of high school. He was playing AAU for the first time at 16 years old, and other players were starting to catch up. It looked like Emoni might be a little overhyped when he played against better competition. Then a kid named Jalen Duran passed him as the number one recruit. He decided to skip senior year, so Emoni joined him, even going to the same college, Memphis. The problem is, Emoni was 17 years old. You have to be 19 to enter the NBA draft. So while Jalen became a lottery pick after one semester, Emoni still has to stay in school. And once he got to Memphis, it was obviously a mistake. The first real problem, his measurements. Man, his hands were small, his wingspan was 6'7.25" and that's not good when you're 6'9". His vertical was 24.5". Tom Brady had a 24.5" vertical, and he was considered unathletic for a football player. But fans were all like, this isn't a huge deal. He's super skilled, and he has time. But then the game started, and Emoni averaged 7 points on awful efficiency and made no one better. And look, I guess those numbers are decent for a 17-year-old in college, but not for a potential number one pick. The Tigers got off to a horrible 11-8 start when Emoni went down with a back injury. And people were like, oh yeah, typical. Obviously, he's going to quit the team. He's just going to leave in the face of adversity and shut it down for the year. But no, Emoni showed back up to support his guys who were taking off without him. Memphis became one of the best teams in the country without Emoni Bates. Only lost 2 games the rest of the year and even made the NCAA tournament. Emoni didn't quit school and announced that he would transfer for his final year of college, but one report said he was actually kicked off the team. Rumors said Emoni told recruits not to play for his coach, Penny Hardaway, at Memphis. Emoni probably blamed Penny for his struggles. I mean, he did miss training camp, and he was just 17 years old, but Penny started him anyway. Emoni had a list of 6 schools to transfer to, which included some huge programs, but he chose Eastern Michigan. Yes, it gave him a chance to play back near home, but are we even sure any of those other schools wanted him? The real question here is what happened? How did a no doubt number one pick or top pick fall to second rounder at best? But right now, he's pretty down bad, I'm gonna be honest with you. But there are several people I believe to blame, and Penny Hardaway is not one of them. Yes, he played Emoni kind of early, but he is the number one player in high school. Like, if you get that nigga and don't play him, You are literally being an asshole right now. So he has to go out there and play the fucking game. And he not gonna learn how to be better at the game if he don't play the game more. So I point the finger at anyone who compares a 15-year-old to Kevin Durant. I mean, even if the young kid is talented, those comps will kill his career before he even does anything for real. Anything he does, if not Kevin Durant, like, would be looked at as a failure, bro. Like, literally a failure. That nigga could really probably not win, go his whole career, one championship, no scoring titles, and be like, yeah, bro, that nigga was ass. That nigga wasn't Kevin Durant enough. Or remember Andrew fucking Wiggins? Nigga was supposed to be Canadian LeBron. Jabari Parker was supposed to be motherfucking Carmelo Anthony. Nigga, I remember niggas was calling Harrison Barnes the next Kobe Bryant, nigga. Harrison fucking Barnes. The next Kobe. Damn, hear myself. But instead of just appreciating what people bring to the game, everybody would just be like, well, you told me he was going to be the next GOAT. Now imagine that happening to a 15-year-old kid on Sports Illustrated. Like, that's not fair at all. But one guy I have seen really manage this off pretty well is Zion Williamson. And even he's facing a lot of heat right now. Now, he ain't LeBron, right? And that's okay. He's still cold. He's still nice. We just gotta see him play a full season. He a little more Larry Johnson to me than anything. But that's me. And he shouldn't have signed that Jordan Brand deal. That nigga made the wrong choice, bro. He could have had a fire ass Adidas and Nike or fucking Puma. Like, that nigga Melo got fire ass Pumas, bro. We could have had a Zion Puma shoe. We got a Jordan Brand, bro. Jordan Brand. Everybody knows them hoes be poo, bro. Besides the retros. And then if you put on, you walking around with the player related, whatever them hoes is, the player shoes, niggas gonna clown you because you still wearing Team Jordans. Like, it's not a good look. But that besides the point, bro. The other person this shit affected, bro, is that nigga Emoni Bates' dad, bro. The spotlight went right to his head. He told Sports Illustrated sometimes players just go with the flow, not really setting themselves up for generational wealth. If Emoni's in that position, I want to make sure he's in control with everything he does. Look, my G, one thing you can't really expect to put the weight of on a 15-year-old is fucking generational wealth. Dude's got money signs in his eyes. And right when things got tough at AAU ball, he pulled his kid out of Lincoln and created his own school. Then skipped a year of school to go straight to college. But this isn't all other people's fault. There are red flags around Emoni's attitude. I mean, the rumors about him getting kicked off in Memphis aren't good. But in high school, Emoni had a fight that got a lot of attention. A teammate named Jaden Akins got upset with Emoni on the court like teammates do. And the two had words, but instead of squashing it, Gypsy Prep, Gypsy Prep, I'm gonna call them Gypsy Prep, that is what they are, just kicked Akins off the team, and the kids had to scramble to find another school before college. But people wondered if this was an example of Gypsy being so focused on Emoni instead of dealing with adversity that they just expelled anyone who caused a problem for Bates. The good news is Emoni's still projected to be an NBA player. He's just early second round, probably by the Orlando Magic, at least in ESPN's latest mock draft. That's pretty fire, bro, for any normal kid, but a nightmare for somebody who's expected to be like the number one pick. Hopefully he can turn this thing around. We'll see what happens like a year later, bro. But either way, in the NBA is still pretty fire, bro. Can't complain. Maybe he has a decent 2K rating or some shit. I don't know. Let me know what you think. You guys have a good one.